Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there in four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Braka the Yahweh, Braka the Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Braka Dub. So, as you've been watching, you know, those of us that are awakened to what's going on, is that pretty much for the next course of a while, until they finally actually attack, you're going to see the Sea of Oman incident, replay, you know, saying that Iran is out of control. And don't be surprised if there's more false flags there launching into that. So, knowing that they're about to make their move against Persia, because you can't really do much more in Syria that they haven't already done. I mean, they balkanized that. They've already set that up the way that they wanted to where there's constant fighting, to where Bashar al-Assad can never regain control of Syria, especially with the settlements in the Golan Heights. So we know that he's busy with a war there, which was their goal, to always keep the fighting going there, so that way they could be of no help to Persia once the United States gets in there. But you see, this plan's going to fail, you know, because even Iraq doesn't want the U.S. there. You know, pretty much Edom has become a byword, you know, just like we were once called the niggards, but now they're the niggard of the world, you know. They've become the byword because they're sick of it. You know, these countries are taking a proverb because they want it back. They want to take it back. And so, which leads to their last desperation move, you know, to control that petrodollar, because they are purposely crashing the economy so that way everybody will take them chips. Because before World War III fully launches into, you know that the mark of the beast has to be mandatory. And they're getting everything ready to make it mandatory. You know, so you got the food crisis that will eventually reach here because you've got tariffs on everything. You know, you didn't have that 5 or 6 years ago, as another brother had put it. But this time you got tariffs on everything, and yeah, man, it's not affordable. You can't afford anything. And the truth of the matter is, though, that the reason for the wall, of course, is to keep people in, you know. Pretty much, there's more people fleeing, leaving America, than there is people so-called coming in here illegally. And the people that do come in here so-called illegally really are just here to get a job and then to go back, you know, the few that do that. But it's not the large number that they claim it is, you know. Nonetheless, though, when they do, though, they take the jobs that Esau don't want to do in the first place, you know. Because only Esau can make up a thing called burnout syndrome, to purposely be lazy and not fucking do a goddamn thing. I mean, you take a good look at everything that's gone on here, you know. The storm came, knocked a bunch of branches down, took them almost 2 months to get that shit all off the road, when it should have just taken that weekend. But nah, man, that's not the work ethic of the so-called, white man. No, man. And so, you know, it was always put off to the last minute, you know, and they have this new thing called burnout syndrome. So what do you think is going to happen with that when, you know, for every Edomite that actually wants to do good work, you've got 10 to 20 of Issachar that's willing to do the same work and for way less. So that's what's going on there. So, like everything else, though, the so-called allies are beginning to turn on Babylon the Great, on America, over the Sea of Oman incident. You know, the only one that's really backing them in the EU would be the UK, which is their own Brexit system, because you already know about the 4 main ruling places: Washington, D.C., London, and, of course, you have the Vatican City. So I'm just going to read out of Daniel chapter 7, starting verse 24. And the 10 horns out of the kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And that's talking about America, Babylon the Great, because the 3 kings that it subdued, well, you know, that's dealing with Spain and with England, and of course with France. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. You know, and that's what happened when they enslaved us and brought us here. And think to change times and laws, and that they may be given into the hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. And we're in that timeline now, you know, that we've been given into it, you know. Pretty much we're slaves under Babylon the Great. Still are today. We're just paper slaves. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. So pretty much, you know, that's why you're always hearing about America's at war with this place, with that place, you know, because that's what they do, is they destroy kingdoms, you know. But at the very end of it, all these allies are going to turn on America, and we're in that time now. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. That's talking about when Yahushua reclaims the entire earth, not just everything over here, because of course Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed within that hour, but you know, pretty much this entire kingdom, which is the whole world, is going to be given unto us, you know, with Yahushua ruling, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. Hitherto, in the end of the matter, as for me, Daniel, my cogitations must trouble me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. You know, and that's what we're to do, is to keep this entire matter in our heart, you know, and come out here and proclaim this, you know. That's why we repented. That's why we call unto our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai. We are very diverse from everyone else, because we're singing a new song, which is really an old one, but it's one that pretty much, nobody's heard this song before, so it's very strange to them, and only certain people are going to get it, you know. And I think that more than anything else is why them doors are pretty much closed, and all we're waiting for is that whirlwind, so that way we can take off from the ark. And that whirlwind is coming quickly. As you can see, though, that any second now, you know, there's going to, you know, that they're moving troop deployment over there, and that next thing you know, there's going to be more false flags, you know, saying that Iran's the aggressor, even though everyone knows, though, that the U.S., you know, falsifies evidence, that's like they've always done with the white helmets. You know, they falsify evidence as a means to go to war. But Iran is diverse, is a lot different than Iraq or Libya or Syria, and they're not going to get away with it this time. And that's going to be a great thing, you know, because, you know, in that time, though it's going to be very scary for us, because, of course, Jacob's trouble will be there, because the elect of us are not going to take the mark, while everybody else is going to take the chip, going to be totally on board. You know, a lot of people are taking the chip right now, joining the military to go fight for that bullshit. And they're going to be consumed by it, because, you know what happens in the third woe. Pretty much a third part of man was taken in that third woe, you know. And like everything else, though, as you know that you've been programmed from the day you were born, pretty much, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s like I did, you were playing video games. And what was the main course of the games? To fight them alien ships, to shoot down the alien ships, making it look like it'd be easy to fight Yahushua and the angels, but they never told you that. They just told you it was an alien invasion, right? So you're just fighting flying saucers. And that's how this devil has deceived everyone into wanting to fight against the Most High and the angels. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? You know, people believe what they see on TV is, and that's the way that it is, you know. So they've been living in this mass delusion, the witchcraft of television. They believe everything they see on TV as a reality, you know. Nobody really questions the narrative anymore. Well, let's just say they didn't want you to question the narrative, but, you know, that's why they're trying to get the alternative media off, as well as trying to get us off the streets, man, because we're the only ones telling the truth. because this place has been run on nothing but deception. You know, this whole place has been a mass delusion, and we're getting people out of their delusions, you know, their delirium, because to believe that this place could go on and on like people do, you have to be delirious. So I hope all this has been edifying, and while we still can, we'll go out here and proclaim this truth, you know, especially if you're an Israelite, you know, the elect of us, you know, we'll go out and proclaim this truth, and until they take it down. And like everything else, though, when that happens, the famine of the word and all that, you just better hope that you have enough faith and that the Most High is with you. For that, I want to say, Barak of the Yahweh, Barak of the Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rekakadash, Barak of Dom, Kah Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Wah, Abba, Babah.